There we go. I just need to go live over here once this comes on, and then we should be good to go. Everybody probably thought I wasn't going to be going live today, but as it turns out, I am. Hello. What up, folks? Thanks for being here. Yeah. Hopefully that gal that I helped with the healing earlier is feeling better. That is the hope. Make my screen brighter, and I probably should plug in my phone, which I don't have the cord with me, but maybe we'll survive. Yeah, it was a bummer I couldn't get it lower that quickly, but you know, sometimes that's the case. Waiting is not my strength. Me neither. It's the only thing that's ever taught me patience is mediumship development. Other than that, I've never really had any kind of patience. I like everything yesterday. So I feel you. I maybe want to sing, I feel you, Joanna. I feel you. Okay. What up, Bernice? We are going to, so if you're wondering where I'm looking off to, I have TikTok here. I have all my other socials over here. So that's probably what you're seeing. That's what you're looking at. So I'm almost done with my tea because I've already been kind of prepping. For those of you who know me, when you come to my lives, I generally will have my tea first before I actually begin working, but I'm nearly there. So yeah. Oh, Lordy. Hello, Angel. 777. So yeah, I'm just going to have a few more minutes and then I'm going to start reading. Should be able to do it. I had a little bit of a stressful thing just before I came on here, so I'm hoping I'm able to set that aside and just move with whatever's arising. That's what we're hoping for. So yeah. But yeah, we're just letting a few things kind of get sorted, letting people come in. Feel free to ask any questions, thoughts, things that you're wondering about, not necessarily psychic or mediumship questions, but meaning that I'm answering for you on behalf of a loved one, but just any kind of questions that are general things. But I will be doing readings, so if you are interested in getting a reading, you'll have to stick around. And if you like readings that hopefully are good, then you may want to give it a follow as well. Give me a follow, so that way you know when I'm back on. I'm on every Monday. Again, it's been a while since I've been consistent, but now we're back and we're doing our thing. So that's what's important, right? We're getting better about it. Let me just flip this over here. I saw a Dana Willie. Who doesn't love a Dana Willie? Last week, if you guys weren't here for last week's live, I pity thee because Dana and I had an amazing conversation. Matt joined us as well. And it was an amazing conversation had by all. I love it. So yeah, that was fabulous. So I hope you were there. I love the AI summaries. Dana, I don't know about you, but do you laugh every time the AI summaries come in and they tell you something? Like, I'm cracking up. A medium is preparing for a live reading session. Ask a question. Okay. Thank you, AI, you silly goose. And it's so funny because it's not really AI. It's not intelligence, actually. It's just so funny. Hey, thanks, Samantha. This used to be a regular shirt, and then I made it hoary. So, I made it a little, not. I'm gonna get a thing for saying the word hoary, because that's what happens. I actually don't know all the words that I'm not allowed to say. So, hey George, crazy husband here. Do hope you get a raise. Thank you for everything always. You're so sweet, George. You and April are such sweethearts. I love you guys. Thanks for being here. Yeah, so we're gonna be doing some readings here in just a minute. I'm about here on my tea. So as soon as I get to the bottom of that, you know what's gonna happen. Tea time started a little bit earlier before this, but a friend of mine was going through some stuff, so I didn't have a chance to pop on right at 7:30, even though I was completely ready. I want to go on record as saying I was completely ready to go. So I'm a little bummed, but also, you got to be there for your friends. So, but we will get started here in just a minute, a few minutes, I should say. But thanks for the likes. Thanks for the shares. Damn, you guys already liked 7,000 likes. That's crazy, guys. Thank you. Thank you for that. That was really quite crazy because we just got on. That's amazing. I mean, I'm no, Parker get a job, so I don't have like thousands, like 15,000 followers or anything. So I shouldn't say 15,000 because that's not a lot. I mean, 15,000 people watching in the live at a moment. So, So, yeah. Let's see what we got here. Thanks, Dana. Dana says, I'm a great friend. I appreciate that. Hello, Christy. But you have a book. I do have a book. That is true. I do have a book. You like poking me with likes? That's sweet. I do enjoy a good poking. Take that how you will. So what else we got here? Yes, very good. And Dana's like, wink. Oh, I'm crazy. I'm really a crazy guy. Nearly done. Just probably like 5 to 7 more sips, and then we're good. And then we're gonna do a reading, even though I have not prepared in any way, shape, or form for that. Hello, Faith and Dreams. Welcome. Happy to have you here. Yeah, everybody was waiting for Dana's reaction because we all know Dana's, behavior. This is Earl Grey. I pretty much always have Earl Grey in the evening. Pretty much if I'm going to have a late night tea like I'm having right now, Earl Grey it is. I keep trying to like the live. That's okay, Christy. It's mostly for the TikTok people that need to like tap the screen. I don't really actually know how you like things on TikTok. By the way, guys, you may or may not know this about me. I am terrible at social media, and I'm aiming to get better about it and getting better at it. So that's the goal. But like I never post and I never do things that people should be doing. I know you're shocked, Buttons. You're shocked that I'm terrible at it, but it's reality. If you're not following me already, please do give me a follow. It's going to help for you to know when I'm here and when I'm not here. Because I come on Mondays, and if you want a reading, that would be amazing. Ooh, I feel a little shift in the power. And by power, I mean the power. And that's a good sign. That means something is bubbling, and we might get started here in just a little moment. Probably about 4 more sips. We got about 4 more sips. Thank you again for the likes and tapping that screen. That's really helpful. And clearly it's working because we have lots of folks in the live right now, at least for my lives. So I appreciate you doing that. Really, really appreciate it. Yeah, so 3 more sips now, probably. I can't remember if I actually took a sip after I said 4. But in the meantime, if you want to ask any questions about anything, you can always ask. So just let me know. When you say the power like that, it means a Scottish person coming in. I know, right? Because that's how they say it. The poor. You've got to get the poor. Anyone else counting sips? Will Emily and Abraham's relationship last? Is he good for her? That's a great question, Sam. Those aren't the kinds of questions that I do. That is if I end up doing psychic readings for people. Also, just as an educational piece, if someone gives you information that is psychic in nature in a question like that, it is on them to then also provide lots of validating information before they give you a yes or a no, because that's a yes or no question, right? They should also be able to provide a lot of evidence that they're actually connecting into those people. So just giving you that so that you're not like just taking people's word, random folks' words on TikTok, because that's not real work as a medium or a psychic. So just throwing that out there. Does enjoying the green leaf lower your connection to spirit or whatever? Not necessarily. It depends on you. It depends on you and all of that. I wouldn't do a reading whilst in that state because that is not really, you want to be as clear as possible. So having some sort of altered awareness is not ideal. So I would recommend you don't do that. You want to let your own awareness be able to move and get out of the way. So I would say don't do that if you're trying to make a connection to spirit. That being said, I don't know that the practice of just doing that on a regular basis would necessarily impede if the times when you don't do it, you are clear headed. Is it a bad idea to become a medium if you have anxiety or OCD? Actually, the development and training you'd have to do to become a medium would probably help you with your anxiety and OCD, because mediumship is all about letting go of control. It is all about learning to be present. It's also about developing your awareness and realizing you're not alone, that you're connected to something bigger than yourself, which also helps support anxiety. There's a lot of practices that are very calming. Helping you to uncover and understand yourself. So the development process would actually be improved if you have, in theory, and I've seen this happen with my own students, it helps with anxiety and OCD. I've just seen that in my experience. I'm not saying that's true for everybody, but I have seen that work many, many times. Janelle says, helped me so much with my anxiety. So that's a person, one of our students who's literally experienced that before. Have you ran into a fan and done a reading by accident? No, I have never done a reading by accident. Any reading I've ever done is on purpose. Hi, Destiny. Nice to see you. You're so welcome. Let's see. Amazing. Thank you. Feel like I've been numbing myself because it's a bit too much. Like what's coming feel overwhelming. Yeah. So then if you are feeling overwhelming, we want to learn some good coping strategies to learn how to manage our anxiety and overwhelm. And I probably want to say there's probably some boundaries around you that need to be enforced, personal and others. Just saying. And also boundaries with the spirit world, because believe it or not, you're supposed to have those boundaries with the spirit. It's not supposed to be like the people on TV with big hair that just walk into the dentist office and says, I got your mother here. Like, that's not what you're supposed to be doing. You're supposed to be closed until you are actively, intentionally working. So just throwing that out there. I know I used my Sylvia Brown voice for that example, which was not the correct one. So just throwing that out there. Gotta love those boundaries. I know. Tell me about it. Sarah says, thank you. Gonna start mentorship with David. Very excited. He recommended to read your book. That is a good book, I have to say. And also, I'm sure David will be definitely helping you recognize the boundaries that are needed. So that will be fun. Honey the land. That's exactly right. That's right. Yes, it was supposed to be the first name that you said, Selah. That's actually the character I was going after with the big hair, but I used my Sylvia Brown voice, so um, is what I did. You came for mediumship, but you didn't know you'd get at voices. You didn't know that that was going to happen, which is sort of the way it goes with me. Yeah, Sylvia cosplaying as Teresa. That's exactly right. That's exactly right. Janelle, yes, we did. We knew. That's true. I mean, if you pay any attention to me for any amount of time, and especially if you've worked with me in any capacity, all I do is act a fool pretty much the whole time, minus, serious teacher hat. When serious teacher hat goes away, the mice will play, is all I'm saying. Let's see. Is it okay to reach out to the past ones, or do you let God take over that and let go? What's correct? I don't know exactly what you mean. You can absolutely reach out directly to your loved ones in spirit. There's nothing that's keeping you from having to do that. So don't feel like you can't reach out to them. If you're referring to like me working as a medium, I can do both. I can go direct to someone and be like, here's your loved one. I feel them with you. And also can be spirit led and let like whatever is meant to be happen. Hey, Tina. Oh, thanks, Beweave. Unless you're referring to Samantha that you love so much, which would make sense. Let's see. What else we got here? Other questions? Okay, I'm pretty much there. I'm pretty much like, let's just work. I kind of have to pee though. I might just hold it. Let's see. Maybe that'll help me connect more. It's like I got to get away from the feeling of urination, So I'm just going to focus more on the spirit. Destiny, such a train wreck, and I ate every single word up. Now I realize the damage that woman caused. Yeah. I'm sure she also realizes. I think they love when you engage with them. I lost my son, but I never feel him. Is he around me at all? Yes, I can guarantee you that he is around you. I'm sorry to hear that you lost your son. That's one of the worst things I can imagine. And I'm sure that he is around you. One thing I will say though is I would never put your information, personal information like that in any kind of chat room, because what ends up happening is that people are going to now, fake accounts are going to message you and try to say like, I have your son here, etc., etc. So never reveal in the chat box who you're hoping to hear from, because others will try to take advantage of you. So on that note, it's important for me to mention that I will never reach out to you for a reading. I will never contact you and say, hey, I feel somewhat so-and-so with you, or I feel anything. So if someone contacts you with my face, my name, my pictures, any of all that stuff, please know that's not me. Never will be me. So just know that. So the reasons that you may not be able to feel him is the grief. That's oftentimes what occurs, is the grief is really thick, and it can be really difficult to kind of get through that. Second thing is that we may want to work on learning how to sense and feel. So I don't know how fresh this loss is for you, but learning how to quiet and still the mind, learning how to become sensitive and receptive, that will help you to start to feel and sense spirit. And I am certain that he's there. I just think that there are sometimes obstacles in our perception of them being there, because your loved ones are always with you. I know that sounds really cliche, but it's just the truth. So, yeah. I watched your live for 100 minutes. How? Have I even been on for 100 minutes? I also see Tina saying, everyone repost, add to your story and tap. Wow, thanks. Thanks for the the rolling on that. Okay, I think I should work now. I think I've yapped on long enough. Also, I don't want to be on too late. So let's get rolling. So if you are wanting a reading, I do ask that you stay in this room. If it sounds like it might be for you, I will ask you to take the information. I am going to work spirit led, but unlike the grand controversy that is online with people saying that spirit led is lazy, it's only lazy if you're non-specific. And I try really hard to be incredibly specific while I am working. So, for those of you who have been here before, you probably know that. I try to be really specific because we have anywhere from 100 to some odd 120, 130 people watching the live. If I'm just kind of vague land, everybody's going to be able to take it. So I have to try to be as specific as possible in the hopes that you'll be able to understand who is coming forward. So how I run my lives is essentially you are going to, I'm going to become sensitive. I'm going to start to feel who you start stepping forward. And then I'm going to invite you to put a heart in the chat if you can understand the information. I may ask you how much you can take if there's more than one of you that is taking the information. Interestingly, the previous time I read, in all the people, only one person could take it. And the second one, only two people could take it, which is pretty good. We love that. So that's what we're going for. So if you are wanting to, get a reading, just hang out. If you don't want to get a reading, maybe you don't hang out, unless you want to just watch. But also, it might be for you. So if it is for you, but you don't want a reading, just say so in the chat, and then I can not look like a crazy person just talking about things that are occurring. So that's what we're going to do. So I'm going to start to become sensitive. As soon as I start to describe who I feel stepping forward, I ask that you will listen to the details. And then if you can understand the information, you're going to put a heart in the chat, and then we will go from there. Hey, Barb. Hey, Lou. Hello, Green Lady. Yeah, if you are in TikTok, it's very easy to bring you up. So if you can understand the information, I'm going to narrow it down to you. You will have to come up on the live though, because I don't really like to do readings via text. They're too slow. It takes too long. And I rather just have you come up. So I do ask that you do come up on the live if it is for you. If it is for you and you don't want to come up on the live, say it's for me. I can take 100% of the information, but I don't want to come up on the live, and I will move on, because I don't really like doing the text-based readings. They're just freaking exhausting, and they're so slow, and I have to hold the power, and it's not as good. It's not as strong, and I don't feel like doing that. So I'm not gonna. So you will have to come up on the live. If you are in like Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, I will still ask you to come up on the live. I'll probably have to send you a link. Or if you want to transfer over to TikTok and watch me there, you can do that, because it's probably the easiest way to get up on the live. Lastly, it's important to know that your kind of giving back is essentially your willingness to allow me to use this recording for content. Now, to be honest, I've never actually posted any content from my lives yet. I don't think. Don't quote me on that because I can't remember. But that is what you're doing. And just know that on the recordings, your visual is not there. No pictures or anything like that. And nor is your screen name. So it's just your voice. So just know that. Hello, Patty. Nice to see you. Where's your proof of being a medium? I'm just curious. Well, hopefully you're about to see it, Psychic Mitch. And then also, I have tons of recordings and things that I can share if anyone's ever interested. But if you've ever been to one of my lives, hopefully that will be the thing that shows you that I am mediumistic. Yeah. Okay, so let's see. Name on TikTok is Medium Michael Mayo. So same exact thing. Okay. So I am going to demonstrate now. So if you just give me a few minutes, I'm going to start to become sensitive, and you're welcome to participate. So give me a couple minutes. I'm going to start to become sensitive. As soon as I start to feel something, I'm going to begin. So while I'm doing that, if you want to like and share, that is helpful for the live on TikTok. Okay, give me just a minute. And as I'm kind of becoming sensitive, one thing that you can do is send a loving thought out that someone else other than yourself will receive the message that they need. Someone else who's observing other than yourself will receive a message from a loved one who really needs it. In this way, we are creating harmony. In this way, we're not vying for the energy. We are actually rooting for everybody else, and that creates harmony. And harmony makes it a lot easier to connect to the spirit. So just give me a second. I'm just beginning to attune, becoming sensitive. Might take me a little bit longer today to just get in there just because of the sort of stressful thing I was dealing with right before this. But I'm going to see what we can get as I start to become sensitive to the energy, to the power. And just as a reminder, once I'm ready and I start giving information, I want you to pay attention. Please pay attention to the information. And you must be able to take most, if not all of it, 95 to 100% of what I give. And then I'll ask anyone who can to put a heart into the chat. Okay, I'm just starting to feel a little bit of something. I'm getting a little bit of information. I'm just giving it a second to build a little bit more, get a stronger connection. Because right now it feels a little bit softer than I want. And I'm just giving it a second. Okay, I think I have to just start with this. And this may be a brief one. I'm not really sure. But I heard Janelle. And as I heard Janelle, I wanted to talk about your mom, is what I felt. Now, I know a Janelle who is here and who has something going on with mom right now. And I feel like that might be who this is for. But I want to, which I don't really like doing necessarily a reading for someone that I know. However, I don't want to fight the energy that way. So I might just move with that and then move on because I need to talk about this. But let me see if I can get more information because it may be the case that I'm thinking that that's who this is for. So I'm just going to kind of move with this here. So give me a second. So, okay, let me just let the communicator step forward a little bit more. Okay, I'm just gonna work with this. So I know that the name Janelle connects in around here. I know that she wants to speak about mom. And I also can feel the lady who's actually bringing me the information feels like grandmother energy. And as I talk about her, I feel strong, I feel expressive, I feel like I tell you what I think and what I feel. And I also feel like there could be some sort of maybe toughness or kind of has seen a harder side of life when she was living. I also feel as I'm talking about this, I want to go a little bit more rural, not like rural like farms per se, but more like almost like I would say riverside or something like that. Like I want to go more inland. I believe I may be even in California, but I'm not 100% sure. But it's the look of this sort of inland sort of space here. As I'm feeling this also, I'm just letting her step in here. I do want to say cancer is somehow involved in this as I'm talking about this. And I also want to talk about um, reassurance is for something that I need to say here. Let me just keep working here. I'm just hoping she can come in just a little bit stronger here. I also feel as though I need to say, um, I don't know if this is like the 3-month period or something like that that I need to mention because she's just sort of giving me this timeline. But I do want to get more information about her before I move on. I also feel that there would be a gentleman in spirit with her. This feels like family with her. This also feels like a stronger gentleman here. I almost need to say like John Thomas or Thomas John or something like that. I feel like I want to talk about two names being connected here, but I'm not 100% sold that those are the names. So I do want to say that. But I just feel like it's a two name like name that we called him. A two name. That's what I'll say because that feels more right. Let me just let her step in here a little bit more. For whatever reason, I see longer hair. I see curly hair, not on him, on her. And I also feel there should be some sort of connection to, um, I want to say sun. I'm not sure what the sun part is. I saw it first as like sunflower, but it didn't feel like sunflower. It felt like sun. Sun, something here, sun way or sun soul, something like this that I can feel here. I'm going to get just a little bit more information and then I'll kind of see who can understand this information. Del Sol, or something like that. I'm just going to see what else we have. I want to also talk about the relationship between um, grandmother and granddaughter, which I do believe would be the person that this is for, was strong. Relationship between grandmother and mother, slightly more challenging or more difficult, is what I'll say. So I'm just going to check in there. Who can understand this information? You just put a heart in the chat, and hopefully you can take 100% of that. Okay, all but names. Names are off. Can anyone take all the names? That's what I want to check. I want you to be able to take the names. I want you to take the, okay, so location on that one. Try not to put names I didn't put into the chat because I don't want people to take advantage of you who might be watching. You have to be able to take 100% of this information. So I'm first checking in who can take 100% of everything I say. And you can put 100%, like you can just put 100%. You can say, or whatever the percentage is that you feel you can take, because I'm going to check. So I'm going to go over the information with you. Okay. Okay. Snickerdoodle, you say you can take 100 or 99% of it. What is the thing? Leticia says 100% of it. That means you'd have to take every single name, every single thing that I mentioned if you're 100% Leticia, meaning you cannot not take any of the information. Jane, but not what you said. And Gypsy Anne Marie says 1,000%. Okay, I'm going to bring up some people and I want to say, I'm going to just sort of see what I feel when I hear your voice. So I'm going to bring you up if you can come up. Janelle, the Janelle I know, I do want to bring you up too, just because I want to hear your voice too, because that was kind of where I felt a little bit pulled, but I want to bring you up anyway. I think I pushed the plus guest, right? I think I do that. I think that's what I do. And then I'm also going to bring up Snickerdoodle. I'm going to bring you up. And then I'm also going to bring up one more here. Leticia, are you still here and you can take all of it? And Gypsy Anne Marie, you say you can also take 1,000%. Okay. We're going to see what happens when I hear your voice. That's going to tell me everything I need to know. So, Kay, it's because the people I'm responding to are on TikTok right now. Not that I won't respond to people in these other chats, but I don't have anyone responding to other chats. I'm just double checking that those are the people that can understand the information before I no longer do this. No longer let people up. So if you can understand the information, please put it in the chat of what it is. While I'm waiting for that, though, I am going to chat first with Janelle. Then I'm going to move to you, Snickerdoodle. And I feel like I've read you before. That must be correct, right?
Yes.
Okay, I thought so. Okay, but I'm assuming a different information because I don't remember. Well, actually, I don't remember the reading at all. I just remember your name because it's a very, very memorable name. So,
yes, it's a different person.
Yeah. Okay. Perfect. I thought so. Okay. I'm going to bring up Gypsy and Marie as well, and I'm going to have you all muted here for a moment, and then I'm going to work with each and every one of you to see who this might be for. Okay. So, hi, Gypsy and Marie. Hello. Can you hear me? Good. You can hear me, yes?
Yeah.
Perfect. Okay, great. I'm going to go over some of this information and then we're going to go from there. Janelle, I know you can take a lot of this information. I'm actually going to start with you and then everybody else that's in this box, just keep listening. I'm going to mute Gypsy and Ray for one moment. Just keep listening. If you can take some of this information, we will talk about that in just a minute. But I do feel like I have to give something to Janelle, and then I'm going to move forward. Okay. So, hey, Janelle.
What's up?
So you can understand all this information?
Yeah, except for the names were off.
Okay, so you couldn't understand the names, but you can understand everything else. Can you understand the place that sort of feels Riverside-y?
It's the city right next to Riverside.
Okay, it's a city right next to it. Okay, perfect. And then obviously I know the situation kind of going on in your personal life with mom specifically. You have grandmother in spirit though?
Yes.
Okay, great. So I'm just going to feel if this is for you. So that yes did change something a little bit, but I'm just going to soften and see. As I am feeling here, okay, yeah, she's coming in a little bit stronger here. This would be mom's mom, is that correct?
Kind of, but not technically.
Okay, but like a mom is what you would say.
Yeah.
Okay, great. The thing that I can feel here from this, can you understand the distance or the separation? Feels like quite a while since she passes. Does that make sense to you?
Yes.
Can you also understand too the sort of like hardy, hard-nosed sort of quality to her? Like I feel like she's going to tell you exactly what she's thinking. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Can you
For
also
sure.
understand with her having children? And I want to say 2. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Can you understand 2 boys connected to her?
Yes.
Okay, great. Can you also understand here, but there's a third one, is that correct? And it's a daughter?
Possibly. We
Okay.
don't know.
We don't know. Okay. That's a very generous possibly, Janelle. But I feel as if I needed to say that there would be another child who potentially didn't even make it to full term or something like that. Can you understand that?
Yes.
Okay.
That's
That's the thing. Okay, great. I do feel I have her here. And can you also understand the cancer connection?
yes.
Would this make sense beyond the current situation with your mom?
Yes.
Okay, great. Can you also understand? I keep saying lymph, lymph, lymph. Would there be a connection to the lymph issue with her?
I think I can't say 100%.
Okay, just because what I'm feeling is a little bit of swelling or a little bit of like retention in the
Yes.
body.
Yeah.
And then I also feel here, as I'm talking about that, I also feel, would you understand she would have had issues with her weight as well?
Yeah.
Like that would have been
Yes.
something she would have struggled with. As I talk about that too, though, I need to really definitely mention the laughter, the joking, the sort of bigness of her personality. Can you understand that?
Yeah.
Would there also have been smoking connected here too?
All around her.
All around her, but not her specifically, because the thing that I just noticed was like us sitting outside and like having the conversation and just like chatting, and I see people smoking. So I didn't know if that was her
Yeah.
or who that was. Let me get a sense here. Oh yeah, and then I have this gentleman that also comes in with her that feels like a partner. Would that make sense to you? As I
There is
just
a
said
partner.
that, sorry, I just said that, and what I felt is I was incorrect about a piece of that. So would it make sense that there would be a partner? Is he still living?
Not hit. No.
He's not living. I felt as if I needed to talk about an older gentleman who would still be living connected to her that she wants to address. And I almost want to go with like Gary or Greg or something along that, like a GR sound. Would you be able to place that?
Oh, fuck. I can't place it.
Gary Garrison, Greg, something. There's like a gra sound that I just heard. But I'm gonna go ahead and just put that over here for right now. Can you understand the separation or like the distance? Because for some reason, when I feel her, she feels very independent and not really tied to anyone. Can you understand that?
Yeah.
It's almost like I could say was married, either he passed early or there was like a separation, or we were like, there's like a gap in their relationship. Can you understand that?
There's a gap for
Yeah.
sure. Yeah.
Because I can just feel that there. And then would there be connection somewhere with Nevada around them?
There's a connection with a few states, possibly Nevada. I can't
Possibly.
say.
You just can't say for certain. That's okay. Well, okay, let me go with what I actually experienced. I heard Reno. Would you understand why Reno would be being brought up? You don't have to explain it, but do you understand Reno at all?
I know they traveled there for
Okay.
sure.
I don't know what that is, but I'm going to keep kind of going because really what I feel like is I have a message for you, and it feels like it's coming from this lady. Also, would you understand Tracy? Tracy, Terry? I know I'm giving you like thousands of names, none of which you can
Terry.
take, but
I know
Terry,
Terry.
take Terry.
Yeah.
Okay. And then also, would you see? I want to just keep giving you names for some reason, but Terry, you can understand. Let me just get to her message because what I feel is she wants to talk about the last 3 months, is what I can feel from her. Let me just let her step in here. And I can also feel the sense of it getting heavier or harder in over these last 3 months. Can you understand that?
Yeah.
And she's making me feel this sense of, I feel there's a quality of preparations or something around that you had to, I guess, take care of. Can you understand that?
Yeah. We're in the midst of it. Yeah.
Yeah. And then can you also understand too, um, there's this feeling of doing your best to kind of take care of so many people, and she's commending you because she makes me feel as though you're somehow keeping your head straight whilst all of this is happening. Can you understand that?
Yeah. Yeah.
She's commenting on the sort of up down thing that was happening in your mediumship. And she's talking about how there's something recently that shifted that feels like you're going down kind of a different route. And she's making me aware of there's somehow this is connected to mom and this kind of process that you're going through. Can you understand that at all?
Yeah, I can understand that. Yeah.
It feels almost as if this isn't the first time that you've had to deal with something like this, though. Can you understand that? Because what it feels like is
In
that
this way.
it feels like there is a lady that you've also would have had to kind of go through like the passing process. Can you understand that?
Yeah.
And I feel as though that would have been something that you would have been quite involved in within that relationship. But I feel for some reason she shows me 19 when I say that. Can you understand where the 19 would kind of connect in here?
I think I was 19 when she passed.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Because I can just feel that there as she was just sort of describing that. As I'm talking about this too, she wants to, I just keep feeling this like coming around you, coming around you. As she says that, would you also understand that you very recently have been feeling a closer draw from spirit and from them coming around you? Like that's become more obvious to you? Can you understand that?
Yeah. Yes.
And
Yeah.
it feels like there's this feeling of like preparing you mentally, emotionally for what feels like loss that is kind of in the midst of what you're experiencing. Can you understand that?
Yeah.
Almost like I need to say preemptive grief. Can you understand that?
Oh, yeah.
And I can feel her coming around you, wanting to just basically, let me just see, rather than basically, let me get exactly what she wants to give. Um, she makes me feel like, sweetie, you have done so much. You have done so much is the big thing that I can feel from her. And you're doing still so much. Um, Would you understand that she would have commented in her life of, like, the unfairness of things, but, like, that's kinda just how it is?
Yeah.
Because I
Yeah.
can feel her kind of bringing a piece of that forward and that we all have our lots in life, but as I just say that, she not so much corrects me as she says, "But you have," she's, like, showing me the image of you, like, peeling the layer back, and what that makes me feel is like you now have an awareness that is so different from the previous awareness. And she's making me feel this quality of you, um, like taking solace as you're going forward through this process in that. Does that make sense?
Yes.
And it
Yeah.
feels to me as though that as she's referring to this, um, she's saying that this is a gift that you're not just giving to yourself, you're also giving it to your mom. And she's also making me feel like she says like the phrase like as you're walking her home. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And I just feel she's talking about you guys having conversations around all of this. Does this make sense?
Yeah.
And it's interesting because I can feel mom being open, but also kind of uncertain. Can you understand that?
Yes. Yeah.
And there's sort of this quality of like, I believe those things are possible, but I also don't actually know. And there's sort of this like kind of tug of back and forth and almost comedically in some way. Can you understand that?
Yeah. Yeah.
She's making me aware of being around that. And then as I say that, she highlights your son and she's making me aware of um, doing your best to explain or help to him to understand as well. Can you understand that?
Yep.
And that has felt like more challenging in the recent days. Can you understand that?
Yeah.
I feel her wanting to just really commend you on all of it that you're doing. You're doing it, you're making it happen. She's like, and I just feel, and I'm not a big angels person, but like that's kind of the imagery that she's giving me is like the guardian angels coming around you. Again, I'm not really an angels person at all, but can you understand why that would make sense for you?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's just something that I have to say because I don't know. I don't understand it, but I'm just going to give it to you. Um, I let me just see here. There's a feeling of needing to say that they're happy that you're taking every moment to value every moment, every breath, every time that you have right now. And sometimes during this time period, it can feel like you're really focused in on like the hustle bustle of like just trying to make ends meet and make ends work. But she's highlighting the kind of pauses that I feel of like absorbing the moment that she's referring to. Can you understand that?
Yeah, I'm trying really hard.
That's where I feel like she's wanting to kind of bring you is like breathe in the moment, even though it feels like you're just trying to make it through and leave nothing undone, leave nothing unsaid is what she makes me feel. Can you understand that?
Yeah. Yeah.
If it's okay with you, Janelle, I'm going to leave that message with you and her love. Is that if that's okay with you?
That's perfect. Thank you so much, Michael.
You're
And I
welcome.
just want to say really quick, I'm just going to acknowledge Lori in the chat. My mom's name is Lori. So as this is happening, I'm seeing Lori in there with a bunch of hearts. So I just thought that was kind of cool.
Oh, very
But
cool.
thank you. I appreciate it.
You're so welcome. Thanks, Janelle. Snickerdoodle.
Yes.
Okay, so let's start with just what you could understand and what you could take.
I could take a J name. I could take a 2-part name. It's different than what you had mentioned. Currently live by a river in the Pacific Northwest. Grandma's had a close relationship with my grandma. And there was a distant relationship between my mom and her mom.
Okay, gotcha. And then can you also understand, as I'm talking about grandma, there would be almost like a salt of the earth type quality to her? Does that make sense to you at all?
Yes.
Like kind of an earthy sort of
Yes.
almost like from a different time. like there's like a different value system. Like it's not, but like very present and today and modern at the same time. I know that sounds kind of contradictory, but would that make any sense to you?
100%.
I also, because one of the things I really feel with her is this feeling of being able to like I almost want to say like meet the moment, be hip, like be up to date, like there doesn't feel like this lag behind thing. Does that make sense to you?
Yes.
And as I talk about this, can you understand her and her partner, but having a very long relationship?
Yes.
But this relationship feels more cohesive. This feels more connective, more like supportive of one another, almost like dutiful support. Can you understand that?
Yes.
Can you also take 2 with him? He was in spirit as well, correct?
Correct.
Interesting. This like turned very quickly into something else. As you said, correct, because I almost feel as though their relationship feeling very dutiful, I almost feel as though that he might not have been the easiest person to get along with or connect with. Can you understand that?
100%.
Yeah, because as you said that, I felt him sort of shift in, and I was like, oh, we have a very different relationship. And I feel like I felt this cohesion, but it felt more like between the two of them, but it felt more dutiful and like, this is what we have to do. But where I see, and like almost like she would be the ally for him in such a way that that maybe other people were kind of like, why do you put up with this? Do you understand
Yes. Yep.
that? Because she's like sweet and she's like a freaking angel. Like that's something that I get from her, because she's like very clear-headed about, you know, everything but maybe her relationship. It was almost like the tradition or the belief around what it is that she's supposed to do. Like that's like the one area where I feel like she's sort of staying because she feels like that was the right thing to do. Can you understand that?
Yes.
Would you also understand with him why he would want to apologize to your mom?
Yes.
Because it feels to me as though I need to say I am very sorry, and that's specifically to your mother. For, I'm just going to say, because I feel like you know what I'm talking about, for the things that were not good that I did. Let's just say that. Can you understand that?
Yes.
Can you also understand too that that apology would have to extend to other people in the family as well?
Yep.
And I feel like he's really coming forward, and I really feel like she was just opening the door for him to step in and take responsibility that really he never did in his life. Can you understand that?
Yeah.
I need to talk about like the not being believed and apologizing about that. Can you understand that?
Yes.
There's a big apology, and I don't mean from him, I actually mean from others in the family.
Yep. Yep.
And I feel as though that's what has, and honestly I can feel like sort of a schism or like a chasm that was created because of this. Can you understand that?
Yes. Yes.
And I feel like there's taking responsibility on his part. Would there be some sort of connection to like, oh, I'm going towards like, I can't tell if that's late October or early November. Can you understand that?
Both of those, yes.
Okay,
Yes.
so I just feel drawn to that for some reason. Would that be connected to them at all?
Me, yes.
You, okay. Because I just felt that. Let me just let him step in. This is a man who would not have oh, okay. Complex person. Let's just start by saying that. Complex
Yes.
person, because as I was saying that, I wanted to say one thing, and then he showed me another side, and then another side. So I do feel like I need to mention this complex personality, because in some ways I feel like he could do the charm, even though there was a little bit of an edge to him, and people knew that part. There was also this other side that he could kind of like win people over in some way. Can you understand that?
Yes. Yes.
But at the same time, he was kind of a jerk too. And I feel like I need, sorry, I don't mean to be rude. I hope that's okay for me to say.
No, that's totally, yep.
Yeah,
I
he was
get it.
kind of an asshole, and people made exceptions for it, is what it feels like to me. Can you understand that? And honestly, that's
Yes.
what he's saying. He's saying that. He's saying I was an asshole. And all of that. I feel very drawn to my work with him. But when I talk about my work, I feel, I don't know what this inconsistency feeling is. It doesn't necessarily feel like he didn't always work, but I, for some reason, feel like your grandmother is trying to pick up the slack for some reason here. Can you understand that?
Yes.
It's interesting though, because as I say that, that doesn't feel necessarily financially. That feels more like excuses for him on his behalf. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Yeah.
Not 100% on that. I feel like I'm not quite understanding what they're both trying to give me. It's almost like it's feeling like they're trying to explain the circumstances to you. Does that make sense? It's almost like not that they're trying to make excuse, but it's more like we were doing our best with what we understood. What they had. And so it was difficult for them to kind of really deal with the complex things that were arising. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So I just
Yeah.
feel from both of them this feeling of wanting to take responsibility and wanting to do that. But I feel from your grandmother, there is a love there that feels really, really important to mention. Can you understand that?
Yes.
And I feel like there are a lot of really positive memories around there. And I wanted to say son or soul or something like that. And like Del Sol. Can you understand Del Sol connected here? Like I almost feel like I need to say this is like a street. Really what I want to say is Vista del Sol, but I don't think it's Vista del Sol. Can you understand this?
I'll have to write that down.
Okay. I know sometimes it's hard to know like what's around or what was there, but I just feel like I need to say that. I can feel them sort of stepping back. So if it's okay with you, if I can just leave you there with her love, if you want to give a little bit of feedback, you're welcome to. But if that's okay with you, I feel like they needed to give that message to you today.
And that, yes, the apology is my mom had a suspicion that my grandfather wasn't her biological father.
Mm.
And they both, throughout when my mom started realizing it, confronted both of them and they both denied.
Yeah.
And so that there, and then I had even confronted him a few years before he passed and didn't say anything.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
Yeah, it feels like the feeling there was like keeping secrets, keeping things hidden, keeping sort of like just something left unsaid.
Yes.
And so that's really what I was kind of trying to get at.
Yes. And my mom doesn't talk to her siblings because of all of this too.
Yeah.
So
that's the like thing that I was feeling there as well. It just feels like I want to just say we're doing our best. We're doing our best. So I feel this sense of that space there, and that's why they want to come and take some responsibility for that. So if it's okay with you, I'm going to leave you there.
Yes.
If that's okay. Thank you so much. You're welcome. Gypsy and Marie, you can be unmuted now. Let me push a button here. Hello.
Hello.
Can you share with me what you could understand of what was given?
There was a lot of responsibility involved. Seems like very stressful life.
Mm-hmm.
Hurt.
And then from what I was giving at the very top, you were saying that you could understand 1,000% of what I was giving. And I just want to check in with you, what of the names or of the details that you were able to take?
100%, yeah.
What you wrote to, what it was that you wrote, what is that?
What do you mean?
Riverside, Riverside.
Yeah, it's from the other side, the spirits.
Riverside.
Yeah, Riverside.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Yeah, and the son as well, and grandma.
Mm-hmm. And then were you able to understand either, I can't remember the name, John Thomas or Thomas John or something like that?
Yeah, Thomas John.
Yes, Thomas John. Okay. And then were you able to also understand, hold on, I'm just trying to see if I can feel, and this would be grandmother, is that correct?
Yeah.
That would be coming through. And then can you also understand with this that she would have been married? I do feel as I'm just trying to see if this, I'm waiting to feel her specifically, because as I'm kind of was working with different ones, yes, the information sort of matched for these different people, but then I just let their loved one sort of come in and make a stronger link. So I'm just giving them a second here. giving her to see if she will make a stronger link. Hold on one second. Would you be able to take, I can't tell this is Ellie? Can you take L at all? It's like E-L. I wanted to almost say like Liz Elizabeth, but I didn't feel 100% right. So I didn't say that. Can you understand like Ellen, Ellie? It feels more like that to me, being connected with you guys.
Elsa, yeah, Elsa.
You have Elsa? Okay, that might work, but let me just keep working and see if I can get a stronger link, because right now it feels quite light and I don't want to make it fit if it's not quite strong. Give me 1 second. Okay, can you understand that there would be a grandfather figure who would have been in the service? Would you understand that?
Yeah.
Can you also understand that there would be I can't tell if that was said Roy. Oh, is that Royal? Is that Royal or Roy? Hold on, I'm just letting myself feel this. Royal something. Hold on 1 sec. I can't tell if that's Roy or Royal that they're trying to give me. Royal. Oh, I'm not sure. I'm going to leave it right here for right now. Let me just see if I can get a little bit more to strengthen this connection to this lady here. When I talk about this, can you understand why I would be seeing 3 girls that would be important to this lady?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Can you understand like Marianne? Can you take Marianne connected here?
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. And then can you also understand there's something kind of quiet about this lady. Does that make sense to you, that she would be a little bit more reserved in her expression?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes. Can you also understand too, I want to go sort of to like central, can you understand the connection to like around London? Would that make any sense to you? And I feel like I need to go.
Yeah.
I feel like I need to go. Well, let me, because I felt like I need to say central. Let me go here. Can you understand that there would be a connection here to like middle part of England?
Yeah, we're in the Midlands, yeah.
Yeah, the Midlands. Okay, perfect. Because I wanted to say London, that didn't feel right. So then I had to just go to like the middle part. Okay, I'm gonna see what else I can get. I'm still waiting for her to get a little bit stronger, and I'm not quite feeling what I want to be feeling. Can you understand a young gentleman in spirit that feels to me as though he would be, gosh, not very old. I want to say maybe in his 20s. That would be in spirit connected to you guys?
Yeah, my son, yeah.
Your son, okay. Because I just felt as if I wanted to say that. And then can you also understand with your son in spirit, can you understand the feeling of him? Oh, let's say, how do I say that? I almost need to say maybe the challenges that he would have had. Yes, let's start there. Can you understand the challenges that he would have had personally?
Yeah, yeah.
And can you also understand, he wants to reference a sister? Would there be a sister as well connected to him?
Yeah.
Can you also understand, as I'm talking about him, why he would feel the need to take responsibility or apologize? And I feel like as if I need to say for like the last, there's like chunks of time, like almost as if I need to say, I'm sorry for the difficulty that I would have brought that created stress for you, Mom. Can you understand that?
Yeah, yeah,
Can you understand too that there would have been more than one section, almost as if I need to say there would have been a time period where he was feeling this difficulty and then he would be good, and then there'd be another time period. It's almost like this sort of pattern. Does that make sense?
yeah, I could totally understand that, yeah.
Yeah. Because I can feel that there. Would there be a connection to I can't tell if I heard Harbridge, Starbridge, bridge. Like the bridge part feels really important, connected to around where you guys would be. Does this make sense?
Yeah, yeah,
It does. Okay. I do feel like I have him, but for whatever reason, they're not coming in as strong as I want to. Can you understand? There would be a connection somewhere within the I can't tell if that's late February or early March. Can you understand that? Almost like it's a birthday or anniversary or something like that.
yeah, we passed away December, just buried in February.
And he was buried in February. Okay. And then can you also understand? I feel as though I need to talk about family left behind, his family left behind. Can you understand that?
Yeah,
I feel as though I feel like his section of the family because I want to talk about two younger ones with him. Can you understand that?
yeah, totally, yeah.
Yeah, because I can feel as he's talking about them, that's where I feel my heart really light up is my children. Can you understand that?
Yeah.
Would there be Lauren or Laura connected?
Layla.
Layla, okay. Layla, okay, because it felt like that strong L sound here. And that A sort of sound that I could feel here. Can you also understand too? Gosh, this is going to sound really random, but maybe it'll make sense. Would there have been a moment where I'm seeing an image of like a ladybug, but like a child, like a child ladybug picture? Can you understand that at all?
Yeah,
You can understand that.
yes, I can, yeah.
Amazing. Okay. And then would you also be able to understand what is that? Would there be a connection to I know I'm gonna say this and it's gonna be like duh because it's Great Britain, but like I don't think it's that. Can you understand a connection to the surname Britain?
Yeah, I can, yeah.
You can. Okay. I hope you really can. You're not just saying yes because that's pretty crazy. That you can take that because I do feel that I need to say that with him. I feel like the message here from him is he wants to come forward and say I love you, I love my kids, and I feel like I need to say I love. Would there be an aunt that's very close to him as well?
Yeah, very close, yeah.
Because I feel like I need to mention that. And then would there be I can't tell what that is. Is there Dorothy connected?
A dawn.
A Dawn? Not quite what I was getting, but I feel as if I need to go up a generation. I feel like I'm going up a generation when I speak about what feels like Dorothy or I'm not exactly sure, but I'm just going to give you that. Let me just see if there's any other things. He's making me aware of telling you to keep on keeping on because I feel a couple of things. I feel as though I need to say it's felt financially tighter more recently. Can you understand this?
Yeah.
Can you also take 2 that he's looking out for the health? Can you understand that?
Yeah.
Because he refers specifically to the mobility, kind of the slower getting around, feeling it a little bit more achy more recently. Can you understand this?
Yeah. Yeah.
Would there have been something with my right foot?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's referring to the right foot. He's like, I know about the foot. And he's saying we're looking out for it. And that he's sending the healing for it. Would you understand George?
No.
Okay, that's okay. I'm just glad you said no because I was worried that you were just saying yes. Not really, but I was just like this is going pretty well for that. But I feel like I need to just say George because I do see this. Like I do definitely see George. Would there be a George Street near you that you know of?
We lived on a George Street, yeah.
Okay, thank you, because I felt as though they were referring to the George, and then he corrected me, or he clarified rather, George Street. And would there be a 7? Is this a 707 or 7? I feel like I need to talk about 7 related to it. Can you understand that?
No, I can't, no.
Okay, he's showing me 7. I need to just give what he's giving me. He's showing me 707. Would that make any sense to you?
No.
Okay,
No.
hang on to it because I feel like it's going to make sense. But I do see 707 that I want to mention. I'm going to see if there's any last things that he wants to bring. He shows me. I can't tell if he's saying star line or star la. Star something is what I feel. That would make sense here, but it's kind of not clear to me.
The stars in the skies.
It might be that. It might be because he did show it to me as stars, but I maybe interpreted and thought it was a name that he was trying to give me. I feel also, can you understand that his part of would it make sense that he was cremated?
No, he wasn't, no.
Okay, but can you understand why he's referring to part of him being with you or that you still have of him? Because that's what made me think cremation, because I thought it was initially the ashes. But what the actual stimulus was he's saying part of him is still with you. And I thought this meant physical, but let me see if he can give me a little more clarification as to what this is. Would you understand an item of clothing? I can't tell if this is a shirt or something like this that would be kept of his.
Yeah, I've got everything of his.
You got everything of his. Okay, sorry, say that again.
I sleep with his coat.
His coat, okay. I got you. Let me just see here. Sarah, I don't know what that was. I'm going to leave that there. What I feel the message is from him is he wants to tell you, you did your very, very best with me. Can you understand that?
Yeah, I can, yeah.
And he wants you to let go of any of the guilt that you hold around kind of how things unfolded. Because he mentions the strong independence that you've had to have throughout your raising him. Can you understand that?
Yeah, totally, yeah.
Yeah. He says you worked your ass off. He said you worked your ass off for him and for the family. And so he's saying, I'm so thankful to you, Mom, is what he makes me feel. And then as he says that, he shows me a card that was either handmade or handwritten. Can you understand this connected to him?
But I can't, yeah. Yeah.
And then as I say that, he
Yeah.
talks about right around, and I don't think this is what the card is, but he talks about right around Valentine's Day. Can you understand an important date right around Valentine's Day?
You always used to get me a Valentine's.
Oh, he always used to get you a
Yeah.
Valentine's card? Okay. Because I do feel this. And then let me just see what any last things. Can you take Sarah?
Yeah. Yeah.
Would it make sense if I said Sarah E?
No, not like necessarily, no.
I feel like I need to talk about the E part of it, but I'll leave it with you. He's saying that he's tried to come through to you before, but he had a tough time. Can you understand that?
Yeah, my lights was flickering today and I put a brand new bulb in and
Okay.
flickering.
Because he's telling me that he was trying to come through to you and he was not able to kind of make that very, very clear, but he wants to just validate that now, that this is him and that he is with you and that he is around you. And I feel like I need to talk about the unexpectedness of his passing. Can you understand that?
Yeah, totally, yeah. Yeah.
And it feels very sharp, very quick, kind of coming to an end quickly. And it feels like a shock to the family. It feels like a shock to you. And so he just wants to say, I'm so sorry for that I've left things kind of the way that they feel now. Can you understand that?
Yeah, it was. It was very quick, yeah.
Yeah. It just feels like we didn't have time to fully prepare for his passing is what it feels like. If it's okay with you, oh, I just saw something with an M. It feels like an M name, but I'm just throwing names out here now, so I don't want to do it without having a very clear thing here. But if it's okay with you, I'm going to go ahead and leave you with his love, and just say thank you for being willing to kind of wait it out to receive a message today.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
I hope that that was helpful. If there's any sort of feedback that you want to share, you're welcome to. Otherwise, we can leave it there.
It was amazing. Thank you so much. Thank you.
You're very, very welcome. Please take care, and thank you for being here.
Thank you for letting me come through. Thank you.
You're so welcome. Take care.
Yeah. Bye-bye.
Bye. Okay. Whew. So what I think is really interesting about that sort of configuration of doing the reading is, although it started off with a certain piece of information, because I can then go, let me go to this person and let that version of that information, that person, come forward and deliver the part that they resonate with. And then we switch to someone else, and then they come forward and they're able to deliver the piece that they have. And then we switch again. So in mediumship, this is for all medium people who are watching. In mediumship, sometimes you're going to get people who, as you're kind of trying to be specific, you're going to get people who kind of can take a lot of the same information, right? Sometimes people call those postcards. But what we did today is we said, okay, if you can take this information, I'm going to bring you up. But then it's all the same, all the same, all the same. And then we go, okay, I'm going to break it off over here. Okay, now we're going to differentiate and break it off over here. Okay, we're going to differentiate and break it off over here. So that's what we were working on today, because I just said, fuck it, we're just going to do that. That seemed that seemed to be what made sense. So it's essentially, I selected the people that I thought I may be with, and then I brought them all up. And then rather than just trying to narrow it down to who it was, I figured we could just make a link to each one of those people. And that's where you break off and become more specific as it relates to each communicator. So even though all those people came in together, right? Like all these people can come in, it was then the job of the medium to go, okay, well, now I'm going to communicate with this person's version of the information they could take. And now I'm going to communicate with this person that they could understand, and then this person. So, yes, Snickerdoodle, I can definitely clip that for you and send you a link. So I just wanted to show you like an example of that, because that's something that you can do. I remember the first time that ever happened to me in a class. I remember I was taking a class, and I was giving such detailed information. Every person could take it, all three people. And so I looked at the teacher and I was like, well, what do I do now? And she said, figure it out. And so you know what I did? I figured it out. I I went from this person. I said, okay, your person lived by the sea. Your person lived in the country. Your person lived in the city. Yes, yes, yes. Your person did this for work. Your person did this for work. Your person did this for work. Yes, yes, yes. So I went through each one to try to clarify, even though they were all taking it, then you break off and you allow them to become more specific once you're speaking directly to the person that this loved one belongs to. So there you go. That's a little education in mediumship for you. So if you like that, there's more where that comes from. If you're not following me, you can give me a follow if you enjoyed it, so that you always know when I go live, which is great. Let me just go up here. Snickerdoodle, if you want to send me a direct message with your email, I'll send that to you once I do adjust that. I've missed watching you read, Michael. This app is better with your demonstrations. Thanks, Chrissy. That's sweet. Anne-Marie, that was a great example. Thank you. Trying to remember all the different references to create a dictionary is tiring. When you say references, please explain what you mean about making a dictionary and tiring, because I actually don't believe in having a dictionary of symbology. I never use symbology. I never use references from previous readings. I always go off, what do I feel exactly in this moment? Miss Eng, Janelle says, I freaking love it. Well, I'm happy you do. Miss Eng says, I'm blown away. Thank you. I appreciate that. Let me see. I'm not sure what you meant by, is there another way or method? Michael is the best. Thanks, Raven. That's sweet. Are you getting off for the night? I am shortly going to probably be getting off. Yeah. Please consume a copy of that. Yes. Send me a direct message, Gypsy Anne Marie, please. And then just put your email in there and I will send you a copy of that. So if you're not following me, do give me a follow. And let me see what's happening over here in these conversations. Hello, Brandon. I don't know if you're still watching, but hello. Thanks for sticking around if you were. Very educational. Thank you, Raven. He's replying to TikTok on YouTube comments. Yeah, I was replying to the TikTok ones. So yes, different symbols or feels like in the body. I'm like, how to remember it all? You don't actually. In fact, I educate all my students to not create a kind of reference list, because if you create a reference list, you're going to spend all your time thinking about what the hell that means. So actually, I would not do that. In fact, I would encourage you not to do that specifically. I would say let the feeling in the moment tell you the context of what it is that you're experiencing. So that's really, really important. It's just Lori. I'm so sorry, Lori. I know you felt that that your people were here, and they may have been. What we can do is that just come back next week, and then hopefully we'll be able to bring you up potentially. Hey, Kelly, lovely to see you. Love how they all play out for each. Yep, exactly. So that's amazing. Hi, does your Mediumship Foundations course start July, including live practice with others? Yes, it does. So for those of you who don't know, I do have an online school called the Oak Bridge Institute, oakbridgeinstitute.org. And from there, you can learn how to do it. And actually, we're starting our Foundations 1 series, but Foundations 1 is starting July 11th. So if you're interested in developing this, that is where you would go, oakbridgeinstitute.org. And that's where, thank you, Janelle, for doing that. If someone can post that and pin that, that'd be great. You can register for Foundations 1. You don't have to have any mediumship experiences, any previous mediumship training. You can come fresh out of the gate. You could also have mediumship, previous experience, and this is really great at filling in the gaps for whatever it is that might be missing in your mediumship, to help it make more sense, to help make it more consistent. So we're really proud of the work that we do over at Oak Bridge Institute, and we would love to have you there. If finances are an issue, we do offer partial scholarships. You would just email us at Oak Bridge, and we can offer you and let you know kind of what's possible with regards to that. We try to keep mediumship simple, straightforward, and we try to train you guys to recognize you have this ability. Everything that I just did, if you found it impressive, if you found it like amazing, just know that you can do this too. I'm nothing special. The only difference between me and you is that I've spent years developing it. So I think it's really important for you guys to recognize that this isn't something that you need to go to someone for. You can learn how to do this yourself. I'm not saying it's easy to develop, but I'm saying it's simple, and the process is simple, but it's going to ask you to grow, and it's going to ask you to shift and change and develop as a person. So if you enjoyed all of this and you want to develop yourself, you can do so at support at oakbridgeinstitute.org if you're wanting to connect with us. And if you want to just connect with the Oak Bridge Institute for Foundations 1, you can go to oakbridgeinstitute.org. Thank you for your time and energy tonight. You're so welcome. I'm here every Monday, so do come. April says, thank you, Michael. Another amazing Monday. You're so welcome. How do you get into the live readings he's doing? So essentially, I will work spirit-led. So every Monday, I will go live, describe who I have coming forward, and then I will bring you up if you can understand and take the information. And then I will give you more information for it to hopefully resonate and connect with you. So that is that. Raven says, highly recommended. If anyone's interested, take the class. You can do it. And then also I had someone else over here saying, user, it's an incredible class. I highly recommend. So yeah, last reading I felt so much was very strange. Do you have more spirit coming in at the same time? Are they there? Spirit's always there, right? So they're always around. They're always with us. They're always there. And so it is possible that the spirit world would come forward and you might start to become sensitive, or you might start to feel other spirit presences. My job as the medium is to stay tuned into the one that I'm interacting with and make sure that I'm bringing forward accurate information around that. So, yeah. More Sylvia Brown, please. Honey, he died in water. Next question. There you go. There's a little one for as we go. Okay, so I am going, hey, Kaiten. I am going to leave it here. And we are going to, I'm going to leave it here, and then we're going to go. I see my brain's not even working. I need to eat dinner before it's really late now. So I need to eat dinner real quick. Yeah, Kaiten, just make sure that you're following. If you're not following me, guys, do follow. Do follow. So that way you can come back next week. Thank you, Kimberly. Hello. Hopefully you got my message. I don't know if you responded to it yet, Kim. So yeah, I will be here next week. Yeah. So thanks, everybody. Thanks for being here. Thanks for joining us. It was great to connect with you, and I hope you enjoyed tonight's live stream. Thanks, everybody.